Hey guys, it's Mark with Photonify, and I've got some great Earthy Wedding Lightroom presets that I'd like to show you today. The video is broken up into two different sections. First, I'm going to walk you through how to install Lightroom presets. And if you already know how to do that, you can jump to the second part. And the second part, I'm going to walk you through the application of these Earthy Wedding presets to a couple of different photos that I have. So let's jump right in and take a look. Okay, so after you have made a purchase on Photonify.com of one of our Lightroom presets, you'll be taken to the purchase confirmation page, which you see here on the left, and you'll also receive a purchase confirmation email, which you see here on the right. So no matter what preset or what bundle you purchase, it'll be the same process here. So here we've purchased the Autumn 2 presets on the purchase confirmation page we see, and on the right is the email with that same file, Autumn 2 presets. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to download the file from both places, from the website as well as the email. And so we'll click here, and that will download the file onto our computer. All right, there you go. It's in my download folders now. And I'm also going to come to the email and I'm going to download the file from there as well. So click on Autumn 2 Presets. It will give us a redirect to a website where the file is hosted, and it will download that same file onto our computers. All right, there you go, right in the downloads folder on my computer. I do want to point out that you don't need to download from both locations. I was demonstrating that you are able to download from either location. So you should be good to go. Okay, so now that you have the file downloaded, let's figure out how to install it inside of Lightroom. So I'm going to move it here onto my desktop so we can work with it. And I'm going to unzip the file by just double clicking it, and my computer will unzip the folder inside, and there we have the Autumn 2 presets. So one thing I would like to point out about what is inside of this folder, as well as all of the other preset collections, is that we have 3 different file types, and that allows you to work with these presets on both the mobile and desktop, as well as the legacy Lightroom. So we have the old LR template and the newer XMP, and then the mobile DNG file in there, all for your convenience. But all 3 of them are the same preset, just in different file formats. All right, now we're going to figure out how to get those presets that we just downloaded inside of Lightroom. So the first thing we'll do is come up to the menu bar, to the Lightroom Classic, and click on Preferences. The second tab in, you see Presets, and from there we'll go down and click on Show All Other Lightroom Presets. And what that's going to do is open up our Finder, our file browser, and I like to do the column view here so I can see the hierarchy. And we'll see a folder named Lightroom, and inside of that we'll see a folder named Develop Presets. And then inside of that one we'll see 2 subfolders, Lightroom Presets and User Presets. What we'll want to do with the preset that we just downloaded is drop it next to the Lightroom Presets and the User Presets right here in the Develop Presets folder. And so I'm going to go back to my desktop, and I'm going to grab this folder of presets and move it into that folder, that Develop Preset folder, right next to these 2 other folders. Okay, just drop it right in there. Yes, let's move it. And there you go. That's essentially what it takes to install it. But there's one more step, and that is to restart Lightroom. So once we restart it, Lightroom will then recognize that there's some new presets in the file structure, and it will then populate the preset panel on the left. So let's go ahead and quit out of Lightroom and start it back up and see if it can recognize the new presets that we just downloaded and put into the file structure. Okay, so let's start Lightroom back up. One thing you'll notice that'll happen is that Lightroom is going to scan through its file structure, and it's going to see if there's anything new there, and we just put some new presets there. It's also going to see if the format is compatible. If it's not, then it will convert that format. There we go, we just saw it convert the format to the new XMP format for us. And so you didn't have to do anything with that folder that you received from Photonify that had the 2 extra files, the LR template and the DNG. Lightroom took care of that for you, and it created the preset that was compatible with Lightroom and then made the category of it so that you didn't have to do anything manually yourself. And that category shows up here on the left side right there. It says Autumn 2 Presets. So there we go. There's our presets now installed here in Lightroom, going from photonify.com to your desktop to the folder file structure under Lightroom, and now in your Develop tab inside of Lightroom. And you should be good to go. And this works for all of the presets from Photonify, the free ones as well as the premium ones. And you are set on installation. So now let's talk about using them. Okay, now that you've installed the Earthy Wedding presets, let's go ahead and take a look at these presets being applied to these 3 photos that I have here. I've selected 3 photos that I think these presets might be interesting when they are applied to them. Let's go ahead and take a look. So we're here in Lightroom in the Library tab, and from here, once we want to start applying presets, we're going to want to move over into the Develop tab where we can see all of our presets here on the left and the color sliders on the right. But because we're doing presets, and let's accept the challenge of finding a preset that gets us our ultimate goal without using color sliders, let's close this panel on the right and see what we can get from just the presets by themselves. All right, so here, this photo we have of this bride standing in front of this water, and it's very blue and very white, and it's actually a pretty nice shot. But we want to apply some earthy tones to this photo here. And the reasons might be various. In this case, let's say the rest of the photo is taken. We're over on these rocks, and we would like to have this photo match the mood of the rocks while still preserving some of the blue and the contrasting with the white. So let's find a preset that helps us achieve that. All right, so let's bring up our before and after panel. I tapped the Y key on the keyboard, or you can just click down here. We'll just all the different ways to do before and after, right? So let's go ahead and start applying. Now, I found one earlier that I liked, but let's look at a few, and then we'll go to the one that I picked. One thing we don't want to do too much of is shifting colors away from the prominent ones that were in the original photo. And in this case, we're shifting the water entirely toward the greens, and we don't want to do that, at least not here. Okay, this one just desaturates up toward the right, up toward the top here, the fade. But the one that I really liked here was 14 here. So just so that you're aware, the 14, you see there's 3 different 14s. Now, the foundation of these 3 presets is 14, but 14 plus is going to add a little bit more detail and some grain, right? And then 14 fade adds some additional fade to it, right? Kind of fades and washes out the colors a little bit more, right? Desaturates to a degree. So here's 14. Now we still preserve some of the color, the contrast. If you add the plus here, you get some of the colors back because 14 desaturated, 14 plus brings them back. And then fade adds an additional layer that fades the colors a little bit. All right, and so now what we're seeing is we're getting a little bit more browns up here. We do have blue water still, and it looks blue when contrasted with the brown and the white. And then what we get is the sunlight that was a lot lighter here and it looked gray concrete. It actually turns it into a golden color here. And it makes it look like the photo really was taken at that golden hour and in the sunset, which then if our goal was to match some photographs that were taken over here in these hills, in addition to this one for a photo set, I think this will help us achieve just that. All right, great. I like it. Let's go to the next one. All right, this one I think is a great candidate for the Earthy Wedding Preset collection. This is a bride and a groom out in the trees in the forest. So let's take a look at the preset that I thought was good for this one. I was looking at 10, right? Now we bring in a whole bunch of brown here, almost a sepia type color, but there's 3 different options to choose from. We have the 10, again, right? 10 plus, which brings a little bit more contrast, and then the 10 fade, which then instead of adding contrast adds fade. Take a closer look here. The original photo has some grain in it there, right? That grain is preserved. We aren't changing the detail or the sharpness. We are changing simply the color, and we're adding some brown, right? We're shifting toward the brown. Now, if you're really into editing the photos further than this, making the entire environment around the bride and the groom this brown color here, this earthy tone, and leaving them unedited, that's something that would be a really fun project to tackle. But as it is here, I take that photo. That looks fantastic. Very good. All right, that was Earthy 10 fade. All right, let's look at this last one. Now, usually bouquets, like this is a great photo. This is a fantastic looking bouquet, and you want to maintain the color to a degree, right? But again, like the first photo, we had other photos that we were wanting to have it look like it was part of a set of photos. And so in this case, assuming the same, we're trying to adopt an earthy tone for the wedding photo set. We're going to want this to lean more toward an earthy color scheme, but we also would like to preserve some of the colors that are natural in the bouquet because it's a beautiful bouquet. So the one that I found that looked like it could do justice was here, 13 plus, right? 13, the base here, you do get a lot of the different color variations here preserved. They are faded slightly, but adding back the plus here, like I said earlier, it adds contrast and it makes the colors separate into their different areas even more. So let's pull up the before and after. Now the reds become oranges, the blue remain blue. I guess these might be black. All right, the purples become these oranges and darker colors. The reds and the purples, they're all shifted over, right? The pinks are preserved to a degree. You notice that. But if you're going for an earthy tone across an entire photo set for a wedding, applying this preset actually looks great, and it preserves the beauty of the bouquet and the detail and the contrast between the different colors. All right, so that is the Earthy Wedding Preset collection from Photonify. All right, hopefully that walkthrough was helpful and it gave you a taste of what's possible with the Earthy Wedding Preset collection. Head over to Photonify.com to grab a freebie preset from this collection that you can use on any of your photos. And if you're ready to jump in and get the entire collection, the whole thing is compatible with mobile and desktop. So that's pretty awesome. But thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.